Good morning everyone, it's Jim Langford here, looking at these Canon Street public toilet refurbs on behalf of the people of Taunton. I live in Taunton. I'm wondering what the money was spent on. I'm told there was a refurb cost for these Canon Street toilets of £220,000. Now, I can't see that. I can't see where that money's gone. I'd like to know what cost what. I'm intrigued by the fact that, yes, we have got excellent high security doors here. Brilliant. They look to be worth the money. I don't know how much they were. I would estimate maybe about £2,000 each. Doors and frames, very good. Some of the internal fittings, the new sinks and the everything else, yeah, they look like it'd be decently done. The tiling is reasonably good. The floor hasn't been touched. All we've got outside is a sign saying that the floor might be slippery because it's ceramic tiles. For that kind of money, I'd have thought maybe we could get a better floor in here. There are materials and products available specifically designed for public toilet use, non-slip. They haven't gone to that extent. So I can't see, I mean, if this is one of the six and it's been £220,000 for the lot, yeah, that's more than £30,000 for each one. And with a little bit of an overhead for the general building, and I can't see that in here at all. I just can't see that kind of money's been spent.
So Jim, as a surveyor, if you reckon the doors are costing up to £2,000 per door, what's the guesstimate on the fittings and the labour and things to actually do per cubicle? As a realistic quote, as a ballpark figure?
I would say 4 or 5 at the most. I'm being generous there because with the doors, there's nowhere near, to me, in my mind, £10,000 in here.
So that's crazy. Although there's a defibrillator on the side and a few other bits and pieces as well, if you've got maybe, let's be generous, at £5,000 per toilet, times 6, that's £30,000. If the council have paid £220,000, do the people of Taunton really need to be asking the question, well, how do they justify the money? Absolutely.
This is the question I was asking earlier this year, January, February time. I did a little bit of footage on these, just talking about what the proposed budget was, and I did say I'd come back after the money had been spent and pass an opinion on it. Clearly, it is only an opinion. Having said that, I've got 25 years' experience doing this kind of thing, so I like to think that it's at least an educated opinion, if not an expert one.
So if we had a price for the fittings and the bits and pieces, the general work at £30,000, plus the extra fittings outside and some paintwork, were we talking 40, 50 maximum?
I certainly wouldn't say much more than that. A couple of little things that really irritate me. There's a point out on the outer wall there where this new sign has been put up saying that the floors might be slippery when wet. That's fantastic, that is. It's great to know that. But also just below that, there's a bit where perhaps a previous sign's been taken off and there's cobwebs left on the brickwork. I mean, it's only a very minor thing, but ultimately, there's standards. I mean, how much time does it take just to brush the brickwork down when you've taken the sign off? It just doesn't look as if it's been done with any kind of commitment. Somebody's come along, they've done the basics, and they're away down the road. And I see too much of that for the local authorities. It's just not reasonable, and it's not a good use of the taxpayers' money. And as I say, there is a gap. I'd like the opportunity to look a little bit more closely at that, try and work out why we've spent what we've spent on this. So that's Jim Langford. Thank you for your time.